I want to get the verses because you had this idea for many, many years. And I remember talking to you about this idea, and, you know, the world wasn't ready for it. The creatives, their pride, you wanted it always to be a celebration of an art form. They always wanted to see it as a competition. You would keep saying it was a celebration. They kept saying it was a competition. The word versus was almost confusing. They didn't understand what you really meant by it.
Yeah.
2 years ago. 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And yeah, oh yeah. And I remember when you first, and I was talking about this when you first went against Just Blaze, Timbaland. I was like, you know, I'm a Tim. As a producer, I think he's outrageous. I'm like, Swizz, you're a talented man. I love you to death. You're going to the end of the pool, guy. This guy puts 3 changes
Tim
in the
gonna fry your fish.
And I just love the fact that you and Timbaland are working together. But when you guys did that and the pandemic hit, you guys did that, the pandemic hit. What was running through your mind with that idea in the pandemic? Did you connect it like, this is the moment?
No, not out the gate. Not out the gate.
Because during that time, you had it for a year before that. What made it you put the gas on right there?
The people put the gas on it right there, you know? The fact that me and Tim went live with no promotions right then and there. Tim kind of like egged me on. He started playing beats and, you know, kind of like challenging me, you know, to get back in the Verzuz spirit. And then I got back in the Verzuz spirit. And then not even an hour later, we was on live and with 30,000 people. So at that time, 30,000 people on live was a lot of people. You know, it wasn't like that was huge. Then we was like, damn, we got 30,000 people, you know, because Instagram Live wasn't really made for the masses. It was made for friends to chat. It wasn't made for what we're doing now, which is why it crashed the time that it did with when we did it. You know, when we continue to do it. But
it crashed a few times with you guys. You guys,
a few legendary times.
Oh, yeah.
A few legendary times. But you know, the thing that I love about Verzuz is you know, you can go back and see me and Kanye on stage in 2006.
Summer Jam.
Yeah, Summer Jam. I always felt that the producers needed to celebrate, and Verzuz gave us a chance to have the writers and producers celebrate in the beginning. And you know, a lot of the writers and the producers, when we started doing it and it started getting moving, a lot of them wanted to go a different direction, which made us switch to the artists as quick as we did. You know, now the writers and producers are really understanding Verzuz and the Verzuz Effect.
Why, Swizz? Really why did the... So let's take our time with this. No, we're going to take our time with it. I'm not going to let you just get to that. The writers and the producers, the producers always should... I say that producers, you know, the producers are the therapists for artists. Feel like when you got it, when a relationship, when a producer and an artist have a great relationship, the producer is like their therapist. They talk to you about everything. You have to unearth it all, and then that's how you make the joints. That's how you make confessions. That's how you make these. You know, women would tell you their hairstylist is their therapist. Like you know, people in your life that to get the best out of them, it requires a connection that's at a higher level.
Yeah.
And the art of a producer is to get in there and do that. So now you want to celebrate these people. Was it because you're a producer, you believe that producers initially were like, I could do this? Or you and Tim, like maybe, what was the, everyone should have been doing this. No, there was nobody shining a light on these dudes. People didn't even know what Sean Garrett looked like outside the industry. As an example, Jonte Austin, I've known him since he was 13 years old. No one knew who this man was playing them joints. Why were you
I know
getting
now.
these? This? They definitely know now. They definitely know now. He's a great young man. Why, Swizz?
Well,
What
you
was the
know, I think,
hesitancy?
and I'm gonna keep it all the way 1,000. Um, it's all being a producer has always been a competitive sport. You know, it always been competitive. Me and Tim are super cool, but I can tell you that me and him was very competitive with each other. You know, me and Just Blaze ultra competitive with each other, and I think that once we started taking off and it started taking off, you know, a lot of people was thinking that it was going to only be up to them for us to keep moving the way that we was moving, you know. So, and I'm not gonna really harp on it, but like a lot of people was acting like suckers. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people was just being selfish, and they was acting like suckers and not really being about what they say they about when it was coming to the smoke. Although they was promoting the smoke, or although they was talking mess about the smoke, they telling other people how they supposed to do the smoke, and then you know when it come to them, they got all the excuses in the world. So I'm not going to take it personal, but I'm going to keep it real. And so me and Tim was like, yo, we just going to keep it dancing, you know, and what's meant to happen on Versus will happen. You know, the universe is in control of this anyway, you know, so we're not forcing anybody to do anything. That must
Well,
be your
Swizz,
daughter.
you know, it's you funny. You are
You
intuitive.
see the daddy laugh.
That's well. You're a Virgo. You read Virgos. Forget it. You the thing that you said there that stands out to me is you're pushing the culture forward, and people are scared of competition. They don't realize what they realize when you look back at it. Nobody lost. Everybody
Nobody.
won.
Fact.
Nobody
And that's what
lost.
we try to tell everybody.
Nobody lost. But you
There's
did
no
something
big
like a
eyes and
tech
little
company.
U's.
Hold on, time out. You did something like a tech company. You failed fast. You guys did a couple big. Then you went and did the one with Ryan Tedder and I forget the other kid. It didn't work. It didn't work at the mass numbers that you think, and you got out of that and you went back again. And not everything is for everybody. Failing
But
fast.
let me give you a point on that one. Um,
Mm-hmm.
we never curated that one, and Ryan Tedder and them were super friends of ours, and I respect their work. They kind of
Ryan's
like,
awesome.
yeah, and they should have went crazy, but they did jump in line with it, and then you know, being that Tim side of it was more of a pop side, and he comes from that, and we then did verses that I asked to be done with hip hop with RZA and with RZA and
And
DJ
Primo.
Premier and things. So I was like with Primo, and so I just felt like it was only I had to be a good partner and honor Tim's wish in doing that because they was going to do it anyway. So Tim was like, "Yo, they going to do it," and like they, you know what I'm saying? Like they got a big audience, so we might need to have them just they're gonna have to put the verses on there and show us the respect. So I was like, all right, whatever you want to do, but that's not
Hold on. There's two
something I
things here.
would have did. I wouldn't have did that one yet.
So I just want to say this. This is important. My only point here is the following. I get out of that. So, entrepreneurs, you got a partner. You believe that your partner's idea is not going to work. That's your partner, 50-50 partner. Your partner gives it a shot. It doesn't work, you move on. You don't look back, you move on. That's what relationships are about. That's what partnerships are about. And that's the one thing from entrepreneurs who build companies together. You're going to always do that. You're going to test, you're going to fail fast, you're going to learn. That's my only point there. Not the
Yeah,
fact that Ryan Ted is
and I
one of the
promoted
greatest
it,
writers
and
of
I
all time.
promoted it as well. I didn't just leave him
Yeah,
by himself with it. I promoted it too. Like, yo, we gonna stand behind it. Let's stand behind it.
yeah. And then you go, boom, right into Jamaica. And I know Tim really well. That's not his bag. He trusts you. You go right into that bag. Boom, home run. These are how this things work. This is how you build great companies. Swizz, I just got to tell you, you and Timberland have done so much to bring life and energy back to catalog in the record business. The record business has moved into a frontline business. You know, anything that came out in the last 18 months goes like this. Things longer than that, slow. You guys are bringing back moments, memories, feelings to the catalog and reminding people the great music that they grew up on, the great music that provided them memories and things in their teenage years or their 20s that helped shift their lives, got them out of some key moments. And that's the one thing from Verzuz that I got out of it. But more importantly, why I wanted to have this fireside chat with you is because if you follow when you started this story, coming back at 16 to New York, banned from TV, haters on the Casio, to the phone call on the plane, to Harvard, to art, and to Verzuz. When you look at yourself and you look at that climb, tell me what you want to tell every young, creative rapper, singer, songwriter, producer. What do you want them to get from that story?
Man, you know, life begins at the end of your comfort zone. You know, I could have easily been cool as a DJ. That's where I would have stopped. I could have easily been cool as a producer, Grammy Award winning producer. That's where it could have stopped. Or I could have been curious of the world. Notice I said world because a lot of people think America is the world. America is a place in the world. You know, I think that my travels and my openness, being open-minded to be curious just about everybody else's culture, what's happening, what's working, what's not working. I think that gives me a lot of advantages when I come back home. And a lot of people might not be able to get on a flight, but everybody got a phone and everybody got a computer. So you can mentally go on that flight and find out things that's going on and see what interests you and see low-hanging fruit. See what, you know, people think I'm laughed at me for having a camel racing team, you know, and the next 3 to 5 years, they're going to understand, you know, what that meant, you know, being the first American and African American to ever own a camel racing team. It's something I enjoy. I thought it was fun. And it's a part of culture. It's just that we're not taught that side of culture. You understand? That side of culture was happening in Africa, Egypt, and all these different places. But we're not taught to celebrate and love those things from the Middle East and from Africa and those different areas. We're taught to speak negativity and stay away from that. You know, me, I like to be on ground and go see certain places in Africa, go see places in the Middle East, go travel and be in places that I know people are not even going to want to go, and come back with the goods, you know, and come back with the knowledge and say, no, you know what? You should probably check this out. You should probably check that out. And just keep your palate just fresh. You know, like I can't do the same thing every day. I want to just have fresh ideas because my mind is very, very, it's on a very serious, like, you see what it just did to your screen? You know, like that's how my mind looks, like your screen right now. You know, so I just put that energy there and it just froze your screen up. So I just
Swizz, man, first of all, thank you so much for taking the time out. I know you building, you rocking and rolling, taking the time out to give the gift of information to all the people out here who registered for SelectCon. This is on Twitch, man. This is a lot of people watching this
there's
right
a lot
now.
of people.
And
Yeah.
it's all for free. It's all giving people the education. You gave of yourself. You gave a lot of yourself, and I appreciate that. That's what this is all about. So thank you for that. And I am, you know, I tell you all the time how proud I am, of you. And, you know, I say that as a person, not because I'm slightly older than you, but because I've watched your growth as a man from that kid dropping off the DATs of the Rough Rider album to, being this guy today that's respected in every part of this earth for everything you've contributed to help shift in the world, man. So congratulations to you and God bless.
Thank you. Blessings to you, and thank you for always being the voice and being the man behind the scenes. I always tell you to like get in front of the scenes, but your humility keeps you at a space that that many would never do. And I've watched you the same way you watched me. I've watched you behind the scenes of the biggest. I've seen the work you've done with Jay. I've seen the work you've done with LeBron. I've seen the work that you've done with your label and taking artists to the next level. And even this talk right here and your endless work and and just always being there from the Kid and Play days to now sitting here talking about Verzuz. So congratulations to your growth, UnitedMasters, and everything that you have going on. That's super huge. Your agency, for you to have an agency that's African American owned, to be the #1 leader in the business, ever since even way before people even understood what that mean. When you did the AI and Jada Kiss commercial, we can go on and on and on. So I could reverse this whole thing and interview you next. So
Yeah. Thank you so much, man. It's very kind. Wish you and your family really well. Blessings to you, brother.
Thank you.
Right.
Cheers to better years.